All right. Let's go. Now I'm gonna start it over.
Mr. B, how are you doing today?
Doing excellent, man. What about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, man. It's an honor and a pleasure to be in your presence today.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, I have a few questions for you, man. What are some of the core values that you pass along to your children that you share with the general public and the children that you meet on a day-to-day basis?
I always start out with, I think that everyone should have a great relationship with God. Because inside of everyone, there's something great. God gave everyone great gifts. And I think that when a person goes through life and they never identify how great they are, to me, they tend to struggle. So some of the things I instill in kids and instill in others to keep a strong relationship with God and allow God to take you places where you see yourself going, even though no one else sees it but you.
And that brings me to my second question. As a public figure, how do you prepare yourself to cope with the adversities that you face in your personal life?
You know, something that I do every day. I wake up in the morning every day around 4 o'clock and I meditate for an hour. And after I meditate for an hour, I sit and I study the Word of God for an hour, because I'm knowing that you have to be able to control the energy within your day. And I feel like when a man wake up in the morning and keep God first, he have everything he needs to control everything that comes to him, because he's prepared for it. Like I said, I wake up in the morning, 4 o'clock, I meditate for an hour, then I study the Word of God for an hour. And even at night, when I get ready to wind down, I even go into the same phase. That's so I can go to sleep at peace and I'll walk through my day in peace.
And good answer, sir. I like that. In my next statement, I want to ask this. At what time did you know you were called to do the work that you perform for the sake of others?
You know what? You're the first person in my life ever asked me that question. I was in the hip hop industry and I had a concert to do. And a friend of mine by the name of Jose, now he's a pastor. Matter of fact, he's Dr. Jose Collins. My car had broke down and he was like, hey, I don't affiliate myself with that type of environment, but you're my guy, I'll drop you off. So I went to the concert that night, and the whole night while I was there, I was thinking about some of the things that he was sharing with me from the Bible as he was taking me down there. When I made it back to my hotel that night, I started thinking about all the guys that I was influenced to do what I was doing, which was the wrong thing. And I thought to myself, if I can influence people to do this, I can influence them to do the right thing. But I had to make a conscious decision, like Hosea was telling me, to give my life to God in order for God to guide me so I can guide others. And the next day I gave my life to God. And ever since then, I've been on this pathway.
And that pathway is a good one to be on. And that brings us to my next question. And how do you implement as a father, how do you make the relationship work concerning your family?
As a father, you know, I think about my kids. Because you said as a father. So I think about my kids. I know back in the days, this is one thing that I use with my kids that's very effective. Back in the days, kids used to be told, you need to be seen and not heard. And I think a lot of parents back in the days never validated their kids' feelings and kids start to act out. I think that's the reason why a lot of kids end up on drugs. A lot of kids start running away because you have parents in the house, instead of building a relationship, they have more of a dictatorship. Me with my kids, I have more of a relationship because their feelings are always valid. I'm always open because see, one thing that I know about life, no one can always be right, including me. And you have to know as a parent when you're wrong and sometimes your kids are right. But they still have to stay in the place as a child, and you still have to hold a role as a parent. And I think if you keep that relationship in that order, I think everything will work out. That's how I deal with my kids when it comes to relationship.
And is there anything that you would do different?
Honestly, I wouldn't change anything. Because I think everything in my past is what made me who I am today. If I wouldn't have made so many mistakes in my past life, I don't think I could be so effective in people today life. I think that everything I went through, I'm still here. I survived it. I survived it for a reason. And God uses everything that I went through to help someone to come through.
Okay, and as we come near to our closing, I want to ask you two more questions, if you don't mind. What are some of the visions that you can share with us as a viewing audience that may help us in the future to better ourselves?
Like I said earlier, I think every man, every lady should have a strong relationship with God, because it's an old saying, a man never planned to fail, he failed to plan. The Bible said that God has a plan for everyone's life. So I think in order for you or for anyone to have a successful life, you have to connect with God's plan is for your life. See, a lot of people in life, they try to go through it and figure it out. It's already figured out. You just have to lock in, stay committed, give your life, and continue to strive.
That brings me to my last question of the night. When it's time to wind down, do you have any special hobbies that you like to do?
I wouldn't say hobbies. I have the same routine. I always end my day the way I start my day. I get me a good book. And you know, a lot of people, when it comes to books, they only want spiritual material, not knowing there are some good books out there that you can read that's connected in the spiritual arena. There's a book by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich. That's one of the greatest books I ever read in my life. There's another book by James Allen called As a Man Thinketh. And also another young man by the name of Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. Those three books right there, I read them daily, as well as the Bible.